Okay, hello, hello. Audio check. Right. I believe the quality has been majorly improved today. Yeah. There we go. Hey Shreya, how are we? Good to see you in here. Just let me know, is the quality much better than yesterday when you dropped in? Now that we've switched to YouTube and I've changed some settings, so hopefully it all looks a lot more crisp now. Drop me a, yeah? Sound could be a bit louder. Let me quickly change that. Right, how's that? Is that better? A little bit too loud? Let me know. And then I'll start going into today's session, talking about trade related stuff. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I know the blurriness yesterday on X was crazy. All right. Let's talk about the charts. All right, cool. Yeah, and it was mainly being able to read the annotations and see the candles well, because if you can't see that, then it really just is a Twitter space, because the video doesn't really mean anything if it's very blurry. So if you can read all of this here, then that's good. We'll change this to 14. Put the sizing up a little bit, so hopefully you can read all of that. Right, daily fair value gap here. Yesterday we talked about how you could see a move up to rebalance a lot of the inefficiency here, and we did, but we didn't go all the way up to complete an immediate rebalance. So we've therefore left this daily fair value gap here, 93 point SIBI. We actually took the low of that SIBI yesterday. On today's candle, but yesterday when market reopened after the 1 hour of being closed, we just tapped into it and took the daily high from yesterday. So we had already actually tapped into this before the Asia session, before today's Asia session, but we came back up today, just after London, and we moved back into it, and right now we're in the low of it. We've got Yeah, so for bullish targets, we've got the consequent encroachment of that daily fair value gap. Then we've got the high of that daily fair value gap. If we look here, there's also an inversion fair value gap here. And if we draw this out quickly, we can see that the C of that is above the fair value gap that we've just formed above that high. So that's why I think this high could be a potential target for today if we are to move up. But we'll see how we move it open, how the Judas swing forms and everything. Move down to the 1 hour. We took London's low. We took London's high. We took Asia low. We took Asia high. So those are going to be ruled out as targets for today. But in the move that we did make to go down and take London low, we created equal lows here. If I go down to the 15-minute, you'll see more clearly. Equal lows here. Move down NQ and check that they have materialized on NQ. They're there on NQ. And they're also there on ES. The reason I say let's go and see if they've materialized on NQ when we're already on MNQ is because sometimes MNQ will differ slightly by a couple ticks, and sometimes NQ has swept, MNQ hasn't. So I'm always flicking between the two. We've also got yesterday, this was yesterday's session move down. This was one of our targets for yesterday. And we moved down and we tapped it to the tick and then reversed and shot up. And I talked about yesterday, when that happened in the stream, that if we didn't go back down to sweep this fully, then we could see uh, us engineering more liquidity, right? Creating more equal lows, going up to take internal buy side, and then coming down at a later date now that there's more liquidity and we engineered liquidity here. And we can use that as a target at a later date. So that can be a level that we can potentially take today if we do fall down. Longs from OT and PM session here. Yeah, you're right. Went up and take that high. Yesterday was very, very back and forth, but very fast. Yeah, I have to say it was very clean yesterday. After the opening range, the first 30 minutes, the move down was very clean. The move up was pretty clean from what I saw. I turned it off at 12. Got the new week opening gap here from 5 weeks ago. That was also used yesterday here. Body's respecting it. Body's respecting it. Bearish overall. I presume you mean on the daily. Yeah, I don't mark out. I mean, if we remove drawings real quick. Um, this sweep here, when we came down and we took this low, even though we did take that, it was very shallow. So you could see here, it was obviously 27 points is a lot of points on a lower time frame, but on a daily time frame, 27 points isn't nothing. You know, like this candle itself was 1,000 points. The range is over 3,500 points. So 27 points is very small, and that could be considered equal lows. And therefore, I think that we could come down and take these again, resweep this level. I think that's very viable. Um, and also, I'm always trying to think, if this is the target, is price supporting that? And if this is the target up here, is price supporting that? And if this was the target up here, I don't think there would be a need for price to fall as low as it has. I don't think there was a need for us to really go below here. So when we tapped into this and moved up, I don't think there was a move to then have that big candle down into here if we were going to go up here, right? If we were going to go up here, I would have liked to see us get to the OTE level of this range, which we did, and then move through that OTE level. You don't want to come up into the OTE level and then reject as hard as we have. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But if I had to favor either this high or these lows, it would be these lows. Looks like we're creating a new high. Coming off that 8:30 open to the tick. Let's see what market open brings us in 8 minutes. I think even though we're overall bearish, I do try and allow obviously for there's obviously going to be retracements up. If we assume we are overall bearish, there's going to be retracements up like here, and I want to allow for an ability to take longs during this. I don't like just picking the short bias and not allowing for longs during that move down because I think there still are a lot of very good longing opportunities. So as of today, I know that this fair value gap can still be rebalanced, and I am open to taking longs up into that daily fair value gap high. 15-minute inversion, consequent quotient. We are live. Uncommon. Good to have you in here. A little bit late. Market hasn't opened yet. That's what's important. I was just talking about how for bullish targets, we've got this daily fair value gap that we formed yesterday. We've got the upper half of that available to rebalance. So that's the main bullish target for today, that daily Sibi high. And then we'll see if we hit that, what we do afterwards. But I want to see what happens at market open. We've also got these equal lows here. And we've got the equal lows from yesterday that we were targeting that got hit to the tick when you were in the trade. Came down, tapped to the tick, moved up. We've engineered more liquidity here now, and that can be a viable option for today if we do fall down. And I have to say, these do look very nice. And then obviously, we've got the weekly low from last week and the new week opening gap, bottom half that hasn't been tapped into from this week. And today's end dog. Then we've got the new week opening gap from 5 weeks ago. We saw that respected yesterday in the PM session. OT entry, as Shreya pointed out. And we also respected that today in the move that took out the London low to engineer more liquidity and move up. Yeah, I know. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Having the quality much better now has been so good. I did a test earlier. I did a private stream and had to change a bunch of settings to make it look as good as possible. So I'm happy that's working now. It really was unwatchable yesterday at the beginning. Like it ended up becoming better quality in the replay after a couple hours. I guess after it all uploaded. But when we were actually live, the quality was terrible. But here we are. Bounced off that 8:30 open to the tick there. We've got some equal lows here. We could come down to take. Yes, equal lows as well. Yes always looks so blocky on the 1 minute before market open. I forget how blocky ES is sometimes. Look at that. What's the 4 hour saying? Big wick there. I think we could go up, take that candle high. I think if I had to give a guess for what we're gonna do on open. That candle high is nice. I'm gonna mark that out quickly. There's a 4 hour buy side. As it's a 4 hour candle. We've also got this 1 hour inversion fair value gap here, which has the same high as the daily fair value gap high. Yeah, yes, it's so blocky. 15-minute inversion fair value gap, consequent encroachment aligns with that daily fair value gap high. Look at that. For a moment, I thought we'd opened. See, ES still looks blocky. Look at that move down on NQ compared to ES. What is that? What is that? That's like 5 consecutive candles with no discount wick. Don't get me wrong, I love ES. I traded ES before I moved to NQ. But let's just say I'm happy I moved to NQ. 30 minute. 30-minute fair value gap, yeah. There is a 30-minute fair value gap. Also a 1 hour fair value gap. Lines with that new day opening gap. If we were to see a move down, I do have to say that these targets, let me just zoom out. These targets here, equal low, especially this one, they are very far from where we are right now. You can see that's 250 handles down to this one, and around 170 handles down to this one here. So, 250 handles is a big drop. So, although I like saying that I like this target and I like this target, will we realistically get down here in the next 2.5 hours? That is the AM session. I'm not sure. I do want to think that this one's a possibility though. ES is much cleaner when you don't trade it. Yeah, it's like that sometimes. I remember sometimes when I used to be open to taking trades on either NQ or ES, whenever I picked one to take the execution and then took the execution, it would always be the wrong one. Like if I took a short on ES, NQ would be the one that is weaker and that ends up dumping more, and vice versa. There we go. We opened, went down, took those equal lows on the 1 minute that were lying at 8:30 open. As we said a second ago, took those, ran up, see if we can hit that 4-hour candle high. From new day opening gap, yeah. For shorts, I'd want to see us run through that quickly. I mean, just generally, any bullish PD array you want to see get disrespected quite quickly if you want to take shorts. The worst thing is being a short and it just slowly trotting down to your TP. That takes years off your life. 4-hour candle high taken. Move up into here possibly. What's ES saying? ESSMT. ESSMT. I don't see myself getting along. If we shoot up here and hit this now, like in the opening range, type next 30 minutes, I don't see myself being able to catch an entry up into this daily fair value gap high. After we take this, if we are going to be having a move down during this AM session, I'd want to see us rejecting quite early. I wouldn't want us to run through it by like 40 handles and then start rejecting, moving down. When we close now, after this opening range, if we haven't moved down, we'll have this 1 hour fair value gap that we could possibly target. Internal sell side. They're at that low. Internal sell side at this low. We've also got this high, but that's a long way away. It's over 200 handles from where we opened. Delete that. No. The computer's on low battery. Right, look at that strong rejection. Yeah, I know. I think we're at less than 10% right now. 10% of the dot. Look at that strong rejection. Didn't even get to the high. Opening range 50% aligns with end dot nicely. I haven't checked the opening range. What's the opening range saying? Oh my days. I mean, the opening range from yesterday was also crazy. That was a huge opening range. Let's see. Where we opened? Yeah, you're right. That's the opening range. See. I'll put it there so it can be monitored. Overlaps a little bit with end dot high, but I think you guys can read that. Would you consider that price respected that daily order block? Let's see. This daily order block here, or do you mean the lowest candle? There's been a lot of confusion with order blocks, I have to say, um, lately, or in Twitter, and with ICT also flaming some of the Twitter ICT traders with how they teach them and teaching them wrong and everything. So I don't like using order blocks too much as like a proper it confluence for my trades. I only use them if I know that that is 100% an order block. Like I wouldn't be able to tell you if this is 100% an order block because I've heard ICT say it's not, but then I've heard ICT say it is, and I don't want to go into order blocks too much. And he's said himself he hasn't taught order blocks fully. So I stick to what he has taught fully and what I have learnt fully. From what I understand, it's the order block start is the open of the highest bearish candle for a bullish order block, the highest bearish candle in the last run down. So it's not necessarily the last one, but this one up here and the whole run down is what I understand. But if there's only one, like for example, here, this would be a bearish order block. There's only one candle, so that's the open. But if this one here was also a bullish candle, then this open here would be the order block. That's from my understanding. But it's never something that I've used as a confluence in my trades. You know, I mark them out if I'm in a trade and I'm marking out PD arrays on a lower time frame, but I'm not using it as a reason to take the trade. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I was ill last week and now I'm better. So getting back to going to the gym and everything. Lost some weight, but it's all right. It's right. And then I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm gonna go live somewhere else next week, Saturday. I'm moving out. So quite busy. Gonna be very busy next week. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get the live streams in. Um, yeah, I'm leaving early Saturday morning, and basically, I may even not be able to trade next week, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm staying in the UK though, just moving to a different city. Right, move down. Didn't get to that high. Let's start paying a little bit of attention to lower time frame PD arrays. Mark out this fair value gap. That's the closest one in range. We've got this little one here. Moved up, tapped into that. Am I coming to New York? I would love to go to New York. I'd absolutely love to go to New York. Opening range gap, consequent encroachment just hit. End dog hit. I'd love to go to New York. I'd love to. The dream is an apartment. It's not the dream. There's a lot of dreams, but one of the dream is an apartment with great views in New York, preferably near Central Park. That's the dream. High up, high up. Not talking like fifth floor. We're talking like 20th floor here. Desk with the monitors pointing towards Central Park. In the live stream with you boys. Look at that. It'll pop off the new day opening up. Yeah, bro. Central Park is beautiful. Central Park is beautiful. It was like a dream. I remember walking through Central Park, like what literally one end to the other, and just everything was amazing. Such a good day that was. The weather wasn't great, but I believe uh, the highest housing in the world is the penthouse on one of those skyscrapers next to Central Park. I forget, the name escapes me. I forget what the skyscraper is called. But there's this penthouse, and I think it costs in the nine figures, over 100 million. And it's the highest up accommodation in the world, I believe, above sea level. It's crazy. I watched the tour all my days. It looks down on the Empire State Building. Like, that's mental. For real, bro. I'll hit you up next time I'm in New York. Maybe 2025. Towards the end of 2025, we'll see. I have to say there was some good coffee shops in New York. They were spenny, they were very spenny, very expensive. It was like $10 a coffee after tax and after you tip. Because I felt guilty every time I didn't tip. So I started tipping every time. And the prices of everything ramped up so much, but the coffee was good. You hate coffee? I can't, no comment. Maybe I have to kick you from the stream. I survive on coffee. I don't believe it's, I mean, I'm not the one person who lives in the US. Uncommon can clear that up, but I believe it's not mandatory to tip, but it is frowned upon if you don't tip. Like at least that's what I thought and was told when I went over there. You know, you'd go and pay, and then they'd turn the card machine to you with all the tip buttons, and then they stare at you in the eyes. They stare at you in the eyes while you give them a tip. And giving them no tip is a little bit, I don't know, I felt guilty. So I kept tipping them like 10%. I felt bad, bro. I went to a coffee store and I got a coffee and it was like $8. It was something crazy. And then they put the tax on and it was even more. And then I turned to my mate and I'm like, mate, this is so expensive. Literally gonna go broke. And then she puts the tip buttons in front of me and just gives me a death stare. Tipped 10%. Never went back to that store. $10 for a coffee is outrageous. Right, what are we looking at here? Rejection off that end dog twice now. Wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. The wick really came down, took that out. Rejected strongly. It's not. This is the one thing I said earlier that I didn't want to be seeing if we were to be making a move down. I'm not saying this is something that would invalidate the move down, but if you want to take a short, you don't want to be seeing this. You don't want to be taking a short and having to hold through this. So I'd want to see us disrespecting bullish PD arrays a lot more than we are right now. You look away when they put the tips in front of you. That's harsh. That's harsh. I think the way to resolve all of this is just make more money, so we don't have to worry about the tips. That's the meta. That's why we're all in here right now. No, the one thing I like about New York is the the range of weather you have throughout the year. You get very cold winters, which is nice, and I believe you also get snow sometimes. And having a cold winter is nice, but then you also get very hot summers, I believe. And you need a hot summer. And I like in the UK it's just always cold. Summer or winter, it's just always cold. But then Spain, which is where I used to live, it's just always warm. It's never cold, cold. And you can't really complain about somewhere always being warm, I don't think. But it is nice to have that difference throughout the year. Yeah, and vote for Trump. Hmm. I'm not going to voice my opinions, but I do agree with you. Look at that rejection off the inversion fair value gap. Body respected the CE. The humidity is very high. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't experienced it. But I guess I can understand what you're saying. It's a pretty populated city. Guess it could get quite damp in the streets. How was my stay in Spain? How was my stay in Spain? How was my 8 year stay in Spain? I lived there from the ages of can't remember exactly. I believe from the age of 6 to the age of 14, 15. Yeah, so more than 8 years. I lived in Spain for quite a long time. Yeah, I do speak Spanish. One of my parents, my mum is Spanish, and obviously living in Spain from a young age, all of my mates from there, well, predominantly most of them were Spanish. In fact, in May 2025, I'm moving to Spain for 2 years. That will be my base. I will be traveling. New York 2025 Trader Roundup. I'll go and visit you, but the base will be in Spain. Right, we just came straight back up. It's not the. I have to say it's better than yesterday's opening range price action. Yesterday was horrendous. The opening range. Look at that. What is this? Today it's a lot better, but still no opportunities. You don't know about what you're going to do tomorrow? Well, it is what it is. My planning is more long term. Like I like it's quite rigid long term, but it's not so rigid short term. Qué bueno. ¿También hablas español? Hey, you want to go to Spain badly? Spain is beautiful, and there's a lot of variety in Spain. Spanish people are very nice as well. Well, most of the time. 100% you're a manifest. Wait, you're from the Dominican Republic? Oh, wow. Okay. So you can also speak Spanish. You heard Spanish people are racist. I think a lot of the traditional vocabulary in Spanish slang or the Spanish language, informal language if you want, it could be considered as racist if you really, analyze it, but it's not, no one says it trying to be racist, you know, or sexist. Damn, bro. Estuve en la República Dominicana eh, en octubre de 2022. O sea, hace un tiempo, pero me encantó. Estuve en Punta Cana, creo. Fue increíble. It was very good out there. For sure, yeah, I was saying that I went to Dominican Republic, where Uncommon is from. It is beautiful down there. It was very hot, though. It was very hot. Right, rejected again. Really tapping this. Yes. Well, ES took this low, but it took it later than NQ. And ES has now gone down and taken this low. NQ's created equal lows. Here's what I mean with MNQ. MNQ just didn't go down that one last tick that NQ did to make that perfect equal low. And it does that sometimes, especially with volume imbalances. Like you can see this volume imbalance here is a little bit larger than the volume balance in NQ. And sometimes they're just straight out is a volume imbalance in MNQ and not in NQ, or vice versa. You want to get a house there? Yeah. I want to get a house everywhere. in due course. You took a quick short on the 30-second. Where from? I love taking trades that have a very short duration. I think my average trade duration is between 2 to 5 minutes. That's what the journaling data says. I've had trades that hit my 1 hour TP before I'm able to even place my TP. Like 10-second TPs. They are lovely. If only you could do that every 10 seconds. Towards the 30-minute fair value gap, next to your inverse fair value gap. That's nice. That's nice. Into here. Yeah, that's nice. You got a good move there. Right, we're going to be left with internal sell side liquidity here. Internal sell side liquidity here. We'll mark that out now. Because we're going to have some bearish targets here because this one's quite far away. So I'm going to make the text a little bit bigger for you guys. Make the text here bigger as well, although it overlaps a little bit. Starting to get a lot of overlap in there. I'll take the opening range gap C out of the question. Let's just check whether C low is, I mean the C low, the opening range gap low. Yeah, so it's just above this internal sell side level. Just send me a picture. Alright, I'll check that out. Got the same chart colors. Lovely. Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. This here, that's very nice. Yeah, that quick tap into the first 1 minute fair value gap created after 9:30. Shoot down. That's lovely. Maybe I can get a short down to here now. And then we'll have the same TP for the day. I don't know why the Twitter post saying we're live isn't really getting picked up by the algorithm. It's only got like less than 20 views. These equal lows just look nice. SMT with ES. This is so random. Why do I even put new day opening gaps on my chart? He got those colors off Star Wars. Fair enough. I'm not going to deny I love Star Wars. But I didn't get them off Star Wars. I hadn't made that connection. I got them off Zenith on Twitter because I used to use these. I used to use these chart colors. Obviously, all the text was in black and everything. This was a little bit more clear. And don't get me wrong, I love these chart colors, but it was just really hurting the eyes having the charts open for so many hours. And also, my room is quite dark because I see the screens better, and having this in a dark room is painful. We haven't even got the buy buttons on. We'll put them on later. Look at that fall down. Yeah, Tan just got all of my people. Tan just got all of my people. How many viewers does Tanja have? How many? Let me just quickly look that up. Tanja gets a lot of viewers. Yeah, and Trades by Matt is also live. He's got 2.2 thousand viewers. Tanja isn't live. Trades by Matt is just such an OG. He's been in here for so long. He doesn't trade ICT. I don't know if you guys know who he is. But yeah, he has a lot of viewers regardless. And it is undeniable that he has got payouts. He is profitable. Not everyone's an ICT trader. Patrick as well. Yeah. Patrick is a pure entertainer. Yeah, Trades by Matt, funny enough. He was the person that I initially moved to futures with. So before I found out who ICT was, back in the days where I didn't know what futures were and I was in Forex, I found out what futures were, ES and NQ, through Trades by Matt. And I analyzed all of his live streams and all of his YouTube videos to try and figure out his strategy. And I tried to trade like him. Let's just say I'm not doing that now, so you could probably figure out how that went. Ben used to go live. I don't know who Ben is. Do you mean Benjamin? There's a lot of people also that go live in their Discords, like privately, and you got to just join their Discords and then you can watch their live streams. Like not private, but just a little bit more private because you have to go and join their Discord server. You know, and then there's also obviously the people that pay, that charge money to watch their live streams. And those people got a lot of viewers, I have to say. Like Amas and all of them. Yeah, Benjamin used to go live. I don't know. I only found out about Benjamin like a month ago through Twitter. I didn't know he used to go live. He seems like a very good bloke. Very sound bloke. One of the sound ones on Twitter. There's so many goofballs on Twitter nowadays. Right, we inversed it, came down, body closed on the low. Not but nevertheless we respected. Or a tick below. Let's check. MNQ. Yeah, also tick below. Then we came up, inversed. Even if this body had closed in, that wick went over one standard deviation away from the fair value gap. As you can see here, if I tag this out, it went over one standard deviation. So that's not good, not a good sign for bullish anyway. But it is going up, so. Yeah, I have to say yesterday on X, I think we were sitting at like 60 plus viewers for a lot of the stream. But I don't know if that was just like, I don't know if bots can enter streams or the view count can be wrong or something, but I don't actually think it was 65. I honestly don't think it was 65, and it was like 80 towards the end. Because I think if it was like 60 plus, there would be more people talking in the live chat, especially when I was like doing audio checks and stuff. I don't imagine 80 people after me saying audio check don't say anything. Like I imagine like 10 people would, but 10 people didn't. So I don't actually believe it was like 60 plus. Look at that. Trying to trade that on the 5 minute. If your 5 minute was your execution time frame and you were in a long right now, this would not look nice. Or a short, or any type of trade right now in this wouldn't look nice. What even is this? Look at the bodies. Look at those bodies. The bodies compared to the wicks. Wick, consequent encroachment. Consequent encroachment. This 1 minute fair value gap here. Can't really see it clearly with those all those lines. Got respected here, came down. Didn't tap into it here quite, but respected it here, respecting it here, but then came down and respected this one. So let's see which one we move past. You wish the outer blue was black? I'm trying to figure out what that means. The outer blue. This here, the background. Oh, this here, the out of blue. Yeah, I see what you mean. You have it on X as well. X has, I think, three shades. You can have like light mode, dark mode, but then there's also like this midnight mode. And the dark mode is black, but the midnight mode is like this blue. It would be good if TradingView also had the light mode and the dark mode. But no, they only have the light mode and like the midnight mode. They don't have a black mode, like dark mode. It would be good if they did. But I mean, regardless, it is still the best platform. I guess you could take it away, going like that. You take all but the lower one out, but you don't get the time frames in the top bar. So I don't usually do that. Right, so we popped off that inversion there, came down, respecting this, but ended up coming down and inversing it again. There's been a lot of action around this fair value gap. Yeah, your iPad is black. My iPad is black. Who doesn't get a black iPad? Who gets a colourful iPad? If you have a colourful iPad, we can't be friends. It's like the new phones. Like Apple comes out with the new phones every year, and they always have like a new color. And sometimes I have to say that color's not great. I remember when they came out with a green one year, and I really didn't like it. Everyone seems to get the new color. That seems to always be the most popular color. But then everyone gets bored of the new color after like a month, and then you wish you'd just gotten black. Definitely not saying that from experience. I have a purple phone. Yeah. Did I see how trash the new iPhone is? I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into it this year. I always was someone who enjoyed seeing the new stuff that Apple was releasing in September. But I don't know, this year I haven't really looked at it. I've seen pictures of it. I haven't really looked into the details of it. The new color's cool though. I don't know what it's called. Desert titanium or something. Right. So we came down, we inversed it. No, we came down, we rejected up here, then we inversed it. Then we came down, rejected, came up, rejected, came up, inversed it, came down, rejected, came down, inversed it, came up and inversed it. All my days. Right, we're gonna take this once and for all. They released it yesterday. Yeah, my dad wants to get it. I think the normal 16s, like not the 16 Pros, I think the normal 16s actually look nice this year. They look different in a good way than they have the years before. If I was going to get one, I'd still get the Pro though. I do think the little bit extra money is worth it. Barcode in my days. I can't believe you guys don't have that in the States. It's a very British saying, at least in the area that I'm in. It isn't uncommon to hear someone say "oh my days." What's up, Louis? How are we? Yeah, the Pro's the best. If you're gonna get a phone and you're gonna have it for X amount of years, what's the average amount of time someone has a phone for? It's just worth paying the extra like 20% and getting the Pro. It is so much better. At the end of the day, you use it every day. Like if you take the price of the phone and you divide it by all the days you're going to use it, they are actually not even that badly priced if you think about the amount of time that you use your phone for. Oil just left without you, no pullback. Let's check oil. I literally just took oil off the watch list yesterday just because I never trade it. What does CL have the same contract? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. What does CL do? Oh my days. I've got to stop saying oh my days. Literally 9:30 open. Crazy. Fair enough. No, I haven't got any trades yet today. No trades yet today. But we have fixed the blurry issue. I think the quality must be crisp now. You say crazy or dead ass? Yeah, I have to say the only people I've ever heard say dead ass are people from the States or Australians. I was in Sydney for a month this summer. I came back less than a month ago and everyone said dead ass. Enki woke up and seeked to destroy. It took oh, it took seek and destroy quite literally. Destroyed shorts, destroyed longs. Well, destroyed longs, destroyed shorts, destroyed longs. Came up and I guess it destroyed shorts in this short term high. I mean, if I was short here, I would not have been confident. I mean, what is this? I would have loved to participate in a short down to here, but I would have liked to take this out first. Yes, following YM. I'm scared to look at YM. YM. YM does what it wants. Please, what is this? Look at the comparison. YM shot down on open. NQ didn't shoot down on open. ES just falling down. Oh my days. Look at that. So what is NQ doing? Right, let's declutter the chart a little bit. This is now taken. Oh, this is now taken. We took that. This is the next one up. We've got equal highs on ES. So that's a very viable move up, rebalance this and take that. In which case NQ could take this. Or 1 hour fair value gap high. Here, we've already taken that one. This one would be the next one. Then we've got this low here. That's just above the discount wick consequent encroachment. Yep, delivered. I am open to taking shorts. I want to see what we do now. You decided not to look at NQs today when you saw the huge expansion towards the daily fair value gap? Yeah. Yeah, well. Sometimes price action isn't the best. I think he got you depressed today. Game's the game. See, NQ tapped into this fair value gap. ES was ES was I don't know what ES was doing. Only ES knows what ES is doing, and YM knows what ES is doing. Because for some reason they're best friends today. We are ready to take shorts when the opportunity presents itself. Good reaction. We've taken this internal bias, internal, internal sell side from the 1 hour. Took that. Took the, ooh, did we take the C? I don't think we took the C. We do have an order block here though, on the 4 hour. And the 2 hour. And the 1 hour. Got a breaker on the 1 hour. Could we see a move down? If we're going to see a move down, there isn't a clear, there isn't like a clear sell side target, like internal sell side target anymore until we're down here, really. You know, there's this candle low, which is just above this consequent encroachment discount wick. But it's not as obvious as the internal sell side here and here was. So I would like to get down to here, but we can't be having rejections like that. What do the macro tell us? Yeah, the C is just tapped into but not taken. What do the macro tell us? Down to take sell side, up to take buy side, down to take sell side, up to take buy side. I have to say, the short here from this fair value gap, tap into here, down into the internal sell side, that would have definitely been a nice 20 handles. And it met my model rules, but the stop loss would have been too big, which means my TP, if I wanted that 1-to-1, would have been more like down here. So I didn't take it. And I didn't want to have like a 20 handle stop loss. I didn't want my stop loss just at the top of the fair value gap. I wanted it up here. But oh well, game's a game. Wicks respecting. Coming down at this new day opening gap. What's ES saying? ES is still, it's come up into that fair value gap, but it's still sitting a little bit lower than NQ. And YM is sitting even lower than that. YM looks like it's going for this. For our fair value gap high. We'll put an alert here. For YM to hit that. What's he? I can trade gold. I didn't know you could trade gold with my funded futures. What's the XY? ES just isn't looking very nice. Got these lows here. We got a low there. That is very close, actually, compared to NQ. We're closer to these equal lows with ES than we are with NQ. Like with NQ, the draw looks nicer. These equal lows look nicer. And you've got, well, I don't exactly know where the new week opening gap for ES for the 12th of August is, but the draw just looks nicer on NQ. So I'm surprised ES is closer to hitting it than NQ. ES has taken that low and that low. NQ still sitting above it. Mitigation block rejected, coming down. Yeah, gold is wild. I mean, the only things I've heard from gold, I mean, the first thing I heard about trading gold was ICT saying, don't trade gold. You're stupid if you trade gold. It's too heavily manipulated. So obviously, as that was the first thing that I heard, I haven't ever jumped to the opportunity to trade gold, but I do know a lot of people do trade gold, and they do that with ICT concepts, a lot of them. But personally, I'm sticking with NQ for the foreseeable future. I don't see any reason to move. And if I was going to make a move and I couldn't do it to ES, I couldn't just move between NQ and ES, it would probably be to CL. I would still like to take my short if it gives me the opportunity to. We've still got that 1 hour fair value gap low. I'm going to mark that out. That's a good target because it matches up with the 1 hour order block. Although, as I said earlier, it's not the reason why I'm taking the trade. The target is the 1 hour fair value gap low. Um, I hate when the lines that aren't directly on the high when you go down to the lower time frames after having placed them on a high time frame. I know it's a little bit annoying. Right, we took that. If we close now without rebalancing this, then this could be a nice IFVG to potentially short off of. You're currently on my funded futures as well. Yeah, honestly, I think my funded futures is probably I don't want to voice my opinion too much on what I think the best is, but there is a reason why I picked my funded futures, and I have traded with Top Step before. Yeah, you added gold last month. Yeah, I just added gold because there's a lot of talk about gold, not as like a today trade so much, but as if you don't want to hold your assets in cash or fiat in the bank, gold is a very popular and has always been probably the most popular store of value that isn't fiat, right? That's backed by it's not just backed by the word of the government or the bank, it's backed by a physical resource. And in times like these, where the economic conditions are so volatile, and you've got the elections and everything, gold is becoming very popular. And that's why we've seen the big run up with everyone not wanting to hold in their fiat currency because of the economic conditions. They move it to something that's backed by a physical source of value. And that's why Bitcoin's almost like the new gold, if you want. I've heard a lot of people talk about Bitcoin being the new gold because it's a store of value that isn't fiat currency, that but that isn't backed by a physical resource. It's backed by it's the only form of digital money that is decentralized, essentially. So it's got its pros and cons, like gold has got its pros and cons. towards the end of towards the end of equal highs. I don't know what you mean. You trade Bitcoin sometimes. I've never traded Bitcoin, but I do hold a Bitcoin as an asset. But I don't day trade it. I just hold it. You want to see that buy side taken? I mean, I wanted to see a move down. I wanted to see an inversion of this so I could take a short. But hey, see a move up into this buy side. If we were to see a move up and I were to see that daily fair value gap high taken, I'd want to see ES also have that same idea. So this inversion, the current inversion, it would be nice to see that reinverted, reclaimed. If we can reclaim that here, then this seems like a very nice target. Hopefully NQ hasn't taken the highs by the time that fair value gap gets reclaimed. I'm going to put an alert. Put an alert here for when that high gets taken. Oh. No. Look at the 15-minute the candles. 5-minute. Basically getting created here. This little one inverted. Yeah. Order block. Rejected off here. Took that. So we took this fair value gap high without invalidating this one. So that's 21. And we didn't go down more than 21. So that wasn't invalidated. Yeah. If we could, I want to see how we react here now. It would be nice to go long right now. And this has also got invalidated. Yeah. Coming off that low there. But I just want to see ES catch up more before we do that. Until then, I don't want to be taken along. Until then, I'm still liking the idea of coming down to this level. I mean, look at that 30-minute large wick. We got the consequent encroachment here. If you can see that, pretty much in the middle of the new day opening gap. If we can shoot down, get below this new day opening gap quickly without showing much rejection to the upside, then I'll most likely end up taking a short if I get an entry in. If we just shoot down past it and down, then I won't get an entry. But that would be what I would want to see to go down. If not, and we go long, I'd want to see ES catch up. And if by the time ES catched up, NQ hasn't taken this yet, and it hasn't taken these, then I'll be happy to go long. Yeah, and Q can't decide. It'll reject off this, but close below this. And it's been doing stuff like that since the open. I have to say, earlier I was saying that this price action was nicer than the opening range yesterday, but I prefer having an opening range like the one we had yesterday, but then past 10 o'clock having nice price action. Because what the hell is this? Like, it makes sense what it's doing, taking equal lows. It took the internal sell side, but it's just destroying. It's seeking and destroying so many people while it's doing that. Right, come up. Let's see how we reject. It's cheeky balanced price range. What's the latency like? I set it to low latency. I could also go ultra low latency, but I'm afraid that would have an impact on the quality. And I prefer having, well, at least I imagine if I was a viewer, I would prefer having a higher quality stream and higher quality audio and it being a little bit more delayed. I think it's about 5 seconds of delay, 5 to 10 seconds of delay. I hope it's not too bad. All right, okay, cool. Yeah, tomorrow at CPI. Yeah, and the next day PPI. But I didn't like I thought about that and I said that yesterday before anyone even joined the stream, so probably no one was listening. But I don't think like even though it's tomorrow's CPI, I would expect that it's the PM session that is focused towards seek and destroy and engineering liquidity. The AM session, from what I've seen, is usually fine the day before CPI. It's normally just a session before, which would be the PM, and obviously the London. But it's not looking like that's the case today. Maybe this is foreshadowing for a huge move tomorrow in CPI. By the way, guys, um, I'll be doing a Twitter space or an X space with Elijah Pips. Go follow him on Twitter if you guys know who he is. On Friday during the lunch hour. So 12 o'clock New York to around 1 o'clock New York. We may go over maybe 45 minutes, maybe end up being an hour and a half. But we're going to be talking about journaling and a couple different, a little deep dive into journaling. So collecting data for trades. I know a lot of you in here already journal, and that's great, but there's so many people that don't journal. So we wanted to talk about how we do it and then share our free Notion template if that helps anyone. And also keeping a price action logbook. I know that's something a lot of people don't do. A lot of people that journal their trades don't keep a price action logbook. And I think that's something that helped me so much. just keeping my analysis recorded before a session every day and then after the session on multiple time frames. When are we doing it? Friday. So Friday during the lunch hour. Friday 12 to 1 o'clock. So I'll be hopefully the idea is I'll be live streaming every day this week. So if I'm live streaming on Friday and I do the live stream from around 9 New York time to 12 New York time, when that finishes at 12, I'll be hopping straight into the Twitter space with Elijah. And we may have another speaker on there, which I'm organized. The idea is that we do some Twitter spaces from now on different topics. So this one's just the first one on journaling. We're going to be talking about some other stuff as well, bad habits in trading, prop firms, models, personal stories as well, personal experiences. And the goal is we're going to have other speakers on there as well. So I'm organizing with some other guy who's on YouTube at the moment to see if he's going to come on, but he's not sure with his schedule, so we'll see. Right, 15-minute came down, rejected off the order block. It's looking like the next 5 minutes. If it closes around here, that would be a very good sign for a move up. 5 minute as well. If we could use the next 5 minute candle to come up and close above here, we'll create another order block. And that would be a good sign for going long. It would be nice to wick these lows though before we do so, I have to say. Yes, seems to be catching up a little bit. Seems like it's pulling up a little bit more than NQ is at the moment. You're a future speaker, 2025. Of course, you'll be welcome. We'll have to do it. We'll do it in person with video, proper podcast in the New York apartment with the views in front of Central Park. I know personally, the reason we want to start doing the spaces is personally when I started out with the trading, and even now, when I'm not actually in front of the charts, whether I'm in the gym or walking to the gym or walking back from the gym or walking in channel, I like to have like an AirPod in, and instead of listening to music, sometimes I'll put a Twitter space in, trading related. And since ICT stopped doing them, I haven't really had a Twitter space source. So I know other people like having Twitter spaces in their ear sometimes. It's good to hear about trading when you're not in front of the charts and hear about trading that is not necessarily related to candlesticks all the time. The other side of trading, journaling, the more mental side, all of that. So I think it'd be good to do a little bit of that because I know I would have liked that if I was starting out. And even if you're not starting out, like if I saw someone was doing a Twitter space and I was like, I would bookmark it and put it on while I'm in the gym. I just haven't seen many people doing. ICT's back on X. Yeah, I've it's so funny. I've been consuming all that entertainment that he's been providing on X. I go to his account and then I go to his replies, like his replies to other posts, and I see all of his like little mini beef conversations with Patrick and all of that. They're so funny. But I haven't seen him do any spaces. I don't think he's fully back. I think he came back to talk shop, hot stir, as he does best. Right, wicking this a lot. Wicked up, took that high. Didn't go one standard deviation over, so this is very much still valid. Came down, took these lows, as I just said, would be nice if we could come down and wick these lows. If we can now reverse, go up, inverse this, and go up, that would be very nice for longs. What's ES doing? ESSMT. Okay, I'm liking this. What's what I'm saying? Why MSMT? Alright, I'm taking gold off the checklist. I keep scrolling past gold, wondering why it's in my watch list. Yeah, X is on fire. Yeah, I know. I don't comment on it too much. Like I don't go in and add comments to the drama, but I do like it. Does keep me entertained. I'm interested to see how it's going to end up actually turning out. I think he can win it. I think he can definitely win it, the Robins, but I'm not sure if he can get that 11,000% now at this time in the year. Like that would be crazy. Like I don't want to doubt him, but 11,000% is crazy, especially in what, like 3.5 months. Right, we came down, took that, but then continued going down, which isn't good for the 15 minute. You see, came down, invalidated that order block, and the moment we trade through this opening price here, this will become an order block. Right, we look for shorts now. Move up, immediate rebalance. Yeah, possibly. Got an inversion fair value gap here. Oop. Let's see if this gets inversed now. We're still looking for that 1 hour fair value gap low. That's the next. That's the next target, bearish. And then we've got the midnight open. This also coincides with a 15-minute fair value gap low. So that will be nice. Yep, there we go. I don't like that rejection. I do like that. I do like this short with my stop loss around here. With this as a target on the way to the TP and the TP being at midnight open. But I don't like how we've just come back up into the fair value gap. I wanted to see close down here. That would have met one of my entry model rules for a short if we had come down and closed strongly, but that was not a strong draw, a strong close, I mean. I'm just configuring a trade copier on the other screen. Yep, I like that. Right, we're short. First trade of the live stream. Oh, let's check. What's that? 44. Yeah, that's about 44. I wanted to get that level there, the close of that 1 minute candle as my entry. So a little bit late. What's everyone had for breakfast? Oh God. I had cereal today. I had to have a quick breakfast. I was in a little bit of a rush. We've got the 1050 to 1110 macro now. Mm-mm-mm. Fair value gap here. See the rejection from that. And then we'd want to see speed See, if we hang around here too much, and if we start moving up into here, and we just consolidate in here, I'll end up closing. Because looking back into journaling data, most of my winning trades are the ones where I enter and quickly move down. Like I don't have a lot of unrealized drawdown in my winning trades. Most of my losing trades just hang around here and then end up hitting here. So I know that when I'm wrong, I normally hang around in a lot of unrealized drawdown. So if that is the case, when we get a move down into a bullish PD array while I'm in drawdown, I can sometimes get out then and minimize the loss to like a minus 0.3 R. And then when it ends up hitting where my SL was, I didn't take the full loss. But we're still going to give it a chance here. FYI, this trade is evaluation. I think I opened this earlier. Evaluation. Because when I took my payout last week, it was a full payout, 100% payout of the account, and that essentially closes the funded account. So I got my funded account closed as I took a full payout, and I was open to that. I knew that was going to happen, and I was fine with that happening. Um, but yeah, the goal now is to get more funded accounts so that I can take a payout from some of them, and if those get closed, I still have other accounts. So you grow some accounts, you take payouts at the start from others. But at this point where I only had one, I thought taking that full payout was worth more than keeping the funded account. See, we now fully rebalanced that fair value gap and we took a little rejection off it, but it's not really the rejection we'd want. I want to see a nice big move down. Yeah, like that. Where did I enter? Stop run on the lower time frame, come down, inverse, create a breaker while we inverse this. External to internal. I don't like that move up there. So as I said earlier, use A micros for each trade. No. I use a fixed risk for each trade. So I pick my risk and then I divide it by the amount of points that my stop loss is going to be. And then, yeah, so I pick a risk, a monetary risk, and then I'll adjust the micros in line with that. And with evaluations, I always go very high risk. So this is around an $800 risk, which is like a third of the max drawdown for the evaluation. So it is very high leverage. Because I don't mind blowing an evaluation account like here and there if it just means passing also them like passing them a lot quicker. In fact, the account that I got a payout from uh a week ago, that original evaluation that got me that funded account was passed in one trade in one day. Plus, I have my win rate is pretty high as I take 1-to-1s. So it doesn't have like I'm not blowing so many evaluations. Like if I had a much lower win rate and a higher RR, I would blow a lot more evaluations. I haven't blown an evaluation yet since I turned 18. That is. So with my fund of futures, I haven't blown an evaluation yet. With a 20 SL, I think this is like a 40 point SL, 45 point SL. This is the last leg now. I mean, if we don't come down now, if we don't reject hard now, we keep consolidating. I could just close it now and avoid this extra loss. That's one way that I make my losses. Even though I have one-to-ones, that's one way I make my losses smaller than my wins on average. Even though I have one-to-ones, my losses are normally like my overall is normally like 1 to 1.2. This just isn't looking nice. 5 minute doesn't look too bad, to be fair. 15 minute doesn't look too bad either. We get a new 5 minute candle in a couple seconds. We'll give it the first minute of that 5 minute candle to see if it wants to drop down. But if we just keep consolidating, then I'll probably close it out. If this does go up and take this, then this is probably going to be the next. Okay, so that's us out. If it goes up now, we go up here, create an order block. I'm not going to take a trade. I'm not taking another trade for today. But if if I hadn't taken this and I was going to take a long, I would wait for us to go above here. Also create an order block if we go above here, which is here on the 5 minute. What's ES saying? See, ES hasn't taken that low yet. The lows still look nice. Equal lows on ES. See, the lows still look nice. I'm not going to go in again, but they do look nice. That's unfortunate. Imagine we go down now, fall down to midnight open. See SMT on ES. Yeah, NQ's going crazy. Seek and destroy. It's a little bit less seek and destroy than it was earlier, but it is still seek and destroy nevertheless. ES is looking nicer than NQ, I have to say, for today in terms of seek and destroy. You could make an argument for this, you could make an argument for that. Have to wait to see what narrative says. But the thing is, narrative hasn't really been saying anything for the past hour and a half, apart from here. Just taking ourselves and not going anywhere. Yeah. We've got an hour left of the AM session, so we'll see what we do in the last hour. Normally, we've already hit a main target within this by 11 o'clock, like yesterday. We came down 11:10. We made the low of that distribution move down, and it is now 11:05. End of the macro coming up. And we still haven't really made a move anywhere. If it comes down now, we have 10 minutes left. Those 10 minutes can come back down, close below the consequent encroachment of this wick. Also, now that the hour's finished, we have this 1 hour sell side. 1 hour candle. Ooh, 1 hour candle sell side liquidity. That. Mm -mm -mm. Mm -mm. I do think ES can take those lows. I think those lows for ES are very viable. And I think therefore with ES, you got to believe it's going to be very similar. But I got stopped out, so I'm not going to re-enter. Got to follow the rules. There's the drop. Drop now to here. Volume imbalance. That. But no, just decides to go up and close. The price action today has been, I mean, saying it was bad doesn't really do it justice. The moment there's like a little bit, apart from here, like I followed my rules and this made sense to me. But everything else, when there's a little flicker of an idea of us going somewhere, it just decides to go against that on the lower time frame. Like here. The moment there's that flicker to go down to here and possibly to here, it just goes back up. Mm, volume balance there. Look at that. Look at that. Mm. Funded companies survive on these days. I wonder how many blown accounts. Yeah, I know. I bet there's people, and I've seen this, that like they're going so extreme high leverage, especially with firms like Take Profit and Apex, where you can literally blow the account on a day. Like with Top Step and My Funded Futures, you can hit a daily loss limit, but it's a soft breach. Like the account isn't blown and you can still trade the next day. But with Apex, if you get breached, it's because you've hit the max loss limit. And with Take Profit, if you hit the daily loss limit, that is a hard rule. The account will be blown if you hit the daily loss limit. So, so many people blow their accounts. So easy to over leverage. Especially, I mean, on Top Step, you can go like 15 contracts on NQ, which is mental. That's like what? What's that? $300 a point, and the daily loss limit is 1,000. You'd literally the account would hit the daily loss limit in a 3 point move. And then when people can't revenge trade if they blow their account. So you know if there's like a strong revenge trader, he's blowing the account, going and buying another one right there and then. Enough for you, you're signing off today? Go for it, mate. Go for it, mate. I would do the same. In fact, I'm tempted to end the stream early and go and eat some food with this price action. It's awful price action. There hasn't been a single 1 minute fair value gap for the past 20 minutes. Now there is a little one. Yeah, it's going to be worse going forward. Very possibly with the elections coming up. I think the CPI tomorrow will be good. I think that will be good. If we can get the typical, move at 8:30 that leaves a lot of liquidity, data lows or data highs, and we can take some type of trade going in that direction after the open at 9:30. That would be nice. That would be the typical high impact news day. But we'll see, because then we have PPI the next day. So we'll talk about today, going forward today, the next hour. Yeah, it's gonna be worse. Definitely in the PM. I think it's gonna be worse. The next hour, I'm not sure. The thing is, it hasn't made a proper move anywhere yet. Like you can't say that AM moved in the direction of this draw, delivered that draw, and then retraced or whatever. You can't say that for today. Today it literally just hasn't really done anything. You know, we talked about this target as the high at the start of the session, and the C. The C did get hit, but this one was the main one. And we talked about this down here as a target, but that hasn't got hit. These equal lows. You know, we've taken some internal sell side, but that's minor. That's like in the direction of the main draw. So we just haven't really done anything. The debate is today. I didn't know that. What time is the debate? I may hop in, give that a little watch if I'm free after I've done the journaling. These equal lows look nice. What time is the debate? Oh, we're getting some action. We're getting some action. Look at that. Let's see if we can get moving now. Up to here. If we can get some consistent order flow on the 15-second, we will be onto something. Never mind. Never mind. Forget consistent order flow. In fact, I'm so tempted to end the stream right now. Not going to be taking another trade. And this doesn't seem like it's stopping anytime soon. We've got 45 minutes until the end of the AM session, but the last hour is normally not for the move. The move's normally made by 11 o'clock. So it's not looking like we're really going to make a move anywhere. And where would we make the move? It would be into liquidity we've already created. So it's not looking like we're going to be taking anything. Right, I think we're going to end it there. Gold pumping as well. What's gold doing? Yeah, equal highs. Yeah, but I'm not interested in anything else. If I had to favor one side, I would like this to get hit before 12. But I'm not going to participate in it. And price action isn't looking like something that would be nice to tape read in that direction. So I think we're going to end it there. Thank you very much for coming along. We'll be doing the same tomorrow. Unless I update you guys otherwise on the Twitter. But we'll be back here on YouTube tomorrow. for CPI, right? I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow then. Bye.